like this setup. See if I can get away with, see what it looks like now. This is okay. I can live with this for a few days. It's not that bad. I mean, I'll just have to kind of lean a little bit into the camera. But I also like it because I'm not fully into the camera, not necessarily. So yeah, okay. This is not that bad. You don't see like the vertical versus horizontal. Like, what's the difference? I guess because I've had fun with the horizontal. Maybe that's my deal. I'm making it a big deal. Like, is it that serious, bro? Okay. Yeah. I mean, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. All right, there we go. Okay. There. Oh, now I know why I don't like it, because whenever if it's not as easy to do. So lazy. I'm saying I gotta climb over you got over the everything to get to type and move around on the. Yeah, I mean the setup could be a little better, but for now it's like very quickly just to get on. I guess it's okay. And the natural lighting, look at that. Natural lighting is okay. So yeah, this'll do. This is working. Anyway, like I promised, I am getting a refill. I'm getting a refill right now, but at least I'm here. Like I said, I'm doing. I meant to put 2 p.m., not 2 a.m. So, hello. How was your day? Hope you're doing good. Yep, I'm doing good. It's a good day. Yep, you're back. Yes. Yep, I sure am. I am back. And I'm just trying to figure out the new staging area. I'm going to change up the staging area so that, it could be a little bit more interactive. So I'm just trying to figure out exactly how it needs to be. And I'm praying that I get good at this natural lighting. I tried to play around with the stage lights and I even changed out the light bulbs. It just gets too hot. I can only, I think I'm going to do one live with those lights on. And I see why a lot of people, you know, like go for like those darker lights, like the blue lights is a go. I have blue. I could make it blue, but I like this natural light, like sunlight coming in. Yeah, that always does better. So, hello, everybody. I am, well, my background is very multicultural because I also have a lot of white in my family. So, so if you're kind of ghetto, I'm not like I wasn't raised I wasn't raised to speak or behave like that. So I'm not like I mean even if you're white and you are, let's say, raised in a neighbor in the hood, you're gonna speak hood and I won't know what in the world you're talking about. You have to explain it to me. Okay. So um Vexy, no, I'm not a lesbian, Vexy. um if okay, if I saw my dad and I have to say, Dad, is that you, Dad? And you're like looking right at The man, I I don't think that I would ask my if I saw my dad if he was my dad. I wouldn't need to verify staring right at my dad. So anyway, so there you have it. So anyway, so what I do is my business. So anyways, I like to do whatever I want to do. And if 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 you're in a if you have found a way to develop a time machine from the past, get back in your time machine, and yeah, and go back to the time that you were, that you're from. I can do whatever I want to do. And if you were like in person and trying to tell me what to do, I would choke you out easy. I would just choke you out. So it would be no contest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And then I go read tarot cards. So yeah, I have my tarot cards. So this is what I've actually been doing all day. Yeah. So yeah, I've been working with clients and they're just growing and getting better. I love them. I spoke to new people today actually, and they seem happy. Um, there's some healing. We also had to work with like there's being that I can speak to the other side. I can speak on the behalf of mediums. So I had a client that was grieving, so I had the chance to help them through grieving. What else did I do today? I was very productive actually. I I would also I'm helping somebody kind of move on from a relationship incident. They got involved with someone, and they both had agreed that no feelings are going to get involved, and then feelings got involved, and so they's like, I just can't believe it. They're shocked that they had these so much amount of emotions and care. So I'm very good at pointing things out to people that they wouldn't ordinarily understand. Like they wouldn't get it. They're like thinking, oh my gosh, that could never happen to me. But then they get so absorbed and caught in that, like the I guess the parts that are like missing, I'm able to incorporate that information. So yeah, I incorporate that information and bridge, and then it starts to make sense, and they start speaking correctly, and they're like, yeah, 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 like why have I been doing that? So that was cool, to witness. By the way, when I speak to strangers, so like I'm speaking to you all, but I speak to them much more kinder though, because there's a professional filter. And of course they're paying me. So to be nice. So and professional. So yeah, but like I don't ask them questions or anything. I retrieved the answer and they were saying, what, wait, you don't need their name or anything. I don't know. People ask, do you need my birthday? No, I don't need anything from you. All I have to do is want to read you. If I want to read for you, I'll read for you. I don't need your name. People give me not their real name all the time. Like they use their screen names. Like they use like star 69 for as a name. If they use star 69 as a name, then I only know them as star 69. So yeah, I don't have to have their real name to draw from, or their birth date. You only need, oh, well, I only need their birth date if I wanted to do astrology. Even my astrology is different and on point. Yeah, my astrology is amazing. My tarot cards reading abilities are amazing. my mediumship, and also hence grieving, dealing with grief is a. What you talk about? You trying to get? No, I'm not trying to get sued. I'm not trying to get sued. I'm literally allowed to talk about the dead and the grieving, those who grieve the dead. So I guide them, in the right way. Of course, using my the ability that you know this is grandmom's handiwork. Well, great grandmom, grandmom, and then me. Yeah. So yeah, that's me. Uh, so I'm just having a good time, and I'm just enjoying the life, enjoying getting people crossed over into the right direction, the right way, and it just feels so good, to have the ability to assist people and help them through it. They can get through and measure up to be the greatest people who ever walked the earth. Also, I I read. Okay, so picking up okay, so I read for like monarch, like royalty. I read for royalty and diplomats, and I speak. They call and they speak to me. Even your representatives. I read for your professors, your teachers and counselors. They're like my soul tribe. So I read for doctors and people who are actually they're in med school or contemplating med school. I read for barristers. That's lawyers. I read for many different branches of people. Servers. People who run restaurants and or people who I'm just trying to find a job type people. And I also read for people who want to work on their self image. Some people are they're comfortable with themselves, but they want to a little bit of touch up. Sometimes people will ask how will their surgery go, and we were able to help guide with that. Also, couples who are looking to to get pregnant, we work with those individuals as well. Um, so we just try to improve people's lives. So that's more so what I do with my energy, and but that's also what makes me me. That's what makes me fantastic. So I just, as long as I remember that I have so much more to channel my energy, and to people who have so much more in life to give. So that's that's where I sit. So that's my energy. And by the way, if you okay, first of all, you have to be able to embrace when someone is declining you. Rejection is okay. Women have to learn to also accept rejection. Okay, so but if a person says they wouldn't go on a date, let's say to McDonald's, right? But if they go on a date, they're like, no. If it's a date and they invited me to like a low class restaurant, and not something like an Italian restaurant or like a Joe's Pizza Brick House, like something, a place that, okay, this is a nice domestic, place where you can bring family if you want to spend a little more for, like something more like homemade. Maybe they have a homemade sauce or a homemade marinara, for example. Um, that's one elevating their, the ability, to show that the person they're spending time with, that they value that person's time. So yeah, every one of us love to feel valued. And then whatever you choose or anyone chooses to do, in their sparingly in their own time, that's their business, right? So, oh, 1 second. I'm actually getting a drink, so I gotta go get it. But so I gotta disappear for a split second, but I will come back. I'll be right back. Okay, 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 okay. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Hi. Hi, Shadow. Good to speak with you. Good to see you. I had to get me a drink. So, yeah, I'm enjoying so much. They're having a great day. And so, as a psychic, whenever I read for a person, I'm just realizing I don't ask my people questions whenever I read for them because I don't even ask for their name really. Like I don't like if they want me to read somebody and I start reading them right away and they say, so I have this person. I said, okay, I could start from there. And I start reading and I get everything correct. And they're saying, you don't, wait a minute, you don't need to ask for their name and their birth or their birth date or anything. They're like, they came prepared. They're like ready to give me all the information. I was like, well, the whole point of being psychic is not having to ask questions. If you're psychic, you don't have to ask questions and you can person like whenever okay, I'm a medical intuitive. If a person says I hadn't been feeling well, I know I'm not allowed to ask you medical questions, but then I say, well, let's just take a look and hear what spirit says. And then I get everything right. If it's whatever side it is, exactly what it is. If it's something outside, if it's something inside, if it's the heart, if it's the brain, and yes, and we speak as though it's a casual, like casually speaking conversation, a person who I've never met before. So yeah, so that's how that's what it's like to interact with me as a when I'm working. Just thought I'd put that out there. So that's why I'm not asking anybody questions or anything like that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, cool. You subbed. Nice. X Shadow. You'll get a lot of free insight. Trust me. A lot of free information. All I do is heal. Okay, when I say I'm in my spiritual path. All I do around the clock is heal people. That's it. That's all I have to do. Heal people, help people feel better, help people find their way. That's all I do. That's all I have to do. And I my the place where or the town where I live up north. Love it up here. And it's very, it's got all the woods, just like you would imagine. Woods and, neighborhood, lakes, you know what I mean? The biggest man-made lake, actually. And so, yeah, so I'm literally in my spirit path. I literally can write all day. Like my winters, I can get snowed in and write and just heal and get the latest metaphysics, like all the contemporary metaphysical information. I have it. I give it to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be so cool. Awesome. And I don't have to ask you all for and that's you don't you see there's no I'm not setting you up for let me give you my PayPal or I'm not asking ever, right? But I mean I will do what TikTok offers, what comes built into TikTok. I'll do that guaranteed because that's a privilege, so I will take advantage of privileges. I love awards, so that's a privilege. It's like an award, so I will create something in that space so that you could just go through TikTok, but not yeah, I used to do that, but then I said I really want to help people. People would do it, they would do it, and then it still doesn't feel right for some reason. So it always kind of feels awkward. I get the job done, and they like thank you, and I even gone as far as where people would actually call me, like they would do it through the YouTube, and then I had my number up there, and then they would call me. But so I don't know, this doesn't feel good. So that's why I don't do it. So yeah, you won't ever see anything like Cash App or PayPal or whatever it is. I just said, well, actually what I want to do is create a healthy channel and it does all the I guess like ads, and then I can have just like the members. And in my opinion, members should be able to get like private readings, so I can create private space, I guess membership spaces, so they can have private readings. I think that's what I was mad about. It wasn't the fact that I was receiving money. It was more like, what about the privacy element? Because, like they have to get a hold of me to do this. And it was just, so I was like, well, there's got to be a way where that you don't have to give me anything. Not even like we got to exchange, we got to trust each other, exchange numbers and email each other. None of that. It's more like I can create all of that virtually just online, and you keep your information. What's between, like, whatever you transactions made is between you and YouTube. And if you make it to the area where I'm going to provide the reading, no matter who you are, if you are, if you, whatever color you are, you know what? Okay, let me temper it down a bit. Professionally, I got to put the professional mask on. I read for people all over the world, including kingdoms, kingdoms, nations, and free world. I read for all of you. Okay. China, all across Europe, Africa, African royalty, Arab, Arab royalty, etc. Then America, the free America, Canada, South America, all of that, Australia, anywhere you think of, Nepal, anywhere you think of, France, anywhere you think of, I read for them. Hawaii, I speak to, people who are, yeah, um, you know, who's got it going on. Wealthy people, billionaires, even trust me, billionaires, trust me. And also, it gives me the strength to work with people who just got the sheriff came down and bolted up their doors into their, 6-figure house. I work with those. Look, I am literally on the mattress in a shelter. What am I gonna do? I've got kids. Well, I got family. Well, let's read about it. Let's get you going again. Let's get you backing up. It's not over. You're still here. You're on this phone with me. I read for decorated soldiers. Yeah. They contact me. Some of them like are actually active and about, and they like reach out. Hey, I just got a question. I read for law enforcers as well. Yep, officers do contact me too. So yeah, I read for like people who are like they're next in line to become presidents of universities. Of course, like presidents of university, their lives is much like an actual president. Like they get the private helicopter. I think that just it's like being a president, but except you're over a institution rather than, well, particularly a college, a university campus, pretty much. But you get like the governor's house. You get a house. So that's pretty amazing life. So I was talking to some of those types of individuals. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they were just like, trying to have a spiritual awakening. They're going to do something big. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, an engineer. So if you like, I'm too smart for this. I speak with engineers, the brightest and the best of tomorrow. There's a client. I'll try to be quick. Welcome. It's a pleasure. Donald here. A pleasure. You're here for a psychic reading. We can start with perhaps an area that you're wanting to focus on. Sure, we could stick to those. I never ask questions. It's my job to answer your questions. You've meditated and you sound like hopefully you've written down your questions, and I can just channel the answers from the guides. Yeah, make it easy for you. You don't worry, okay? You're in good hands. So, yes, you start us off. Okay. And what would you like to know? Okay, I can go from there. I don't need a whole lot of detail. Just like you said, you had very specific direction. So I want to make sure that yes, we don't need to pan here. So panhandling, so spiritual panhandling. We just can focus on the questions you have today. All right. So what I can see in this space is this. Um, the guides here are saying that, well, the timing is right. It's just a bit of like it's complicated is what I pick up on. It's a bit, it's off to a rocky start. It seems like this is something that's sincere. It's just not as easy as it sounds. You know how people they speak and they say, "I'm going to do this. I want to do this," and they start dedicating for the future, and it's like, "But are you really going to do this?" It's not that he doesn't want to do it. It's will he see it through? I think you two drive each other in a good way crazy. Yeah, I think you both like you're always on his mind. I think that he's on your mind, especially when you two have been very oh boy, you two have had some time apart. You both have been apart, not really engaging, like abstinent, like abstinence. Oh boy, it's been worrying him. It's killing him. Okay. Well, the distance is killing you too. It's bothering you too. Like, oh my gosh, you haven't seen him in a while. He's been detached from you as well. I mean, no activity, relationship activity. Okay. And plus you two have a problem that's caused a bit of a tension between he and you. So the guys here say that he and you are still bonded. So he's not. At least one thing I can assure you through the language of the spirits. He's the bond between he and you is not broken. It's not severed. Now the way I speak about this is, let's say you two have a bond, right? But the synchronicity I'm talking about. And then he goes off and he decides to get hooked up with another woman, right? That bond breaks. That's the yeah, that's the price. And the price uh, the price the price to continue having the bond that he and you share, he has to be only it has to be exclusive to you with you. Otherwise, this type of synchronicity, it will break. And so I'm letting you know that this synchronicity, the bond between he and you is intact. So okay, so I'm reinforcing, I'm also healing. So when you transition from the reading, you transition to him in the direction that he and you're connected. You want to connect with him. You look at this. I'm trying to connect you to him. So okay. So the next section of this is like two other items. Two other items. I promise. So it says that he and you are absolutely going to settle your heart difference, your love difference. He and you are going to settle this out. Are you going to ever? Will you both ever move past this? Some people use that phrase, that term. Will he and you ever move past this or get through it? I'm saying that you two are going to settle your difference. That's the way I speak. So, okay, so he and you will settle your differences, and he and you will, get back comfortably in re-seeing each other again, get back active as a couple. Of course, he comes back and being that he hasn't, stepped out on you, right? So then he and you, that's why he and you, when he and you get back together, you two are gonna have a good connection, a fun connection. But there's something you want to know. You want to hear this last part. If you heard most of it, you got to hear this one. This one is invaluable. This one says you two are so opposite that you've attracted to each other. Do you know what I mean by that? You two are not the same. You know, some people they say, "Oh, you two are from the same space or the same energy, same coin." You two are opposite, but you're so opposite that you gravitated to each other. So you naturally have natural like differences, literally, but these differences complement yourselves. Difference can be beautiful, and you two are moving in that direction. It may still got to work through trust. It's still like I said. It's very. They said in the beginning. We already acknowledged it's complicated, it's rocky, it's weird, it's not conventional, but you two eventually get to the place where you say, you know what? Ice and fire is actually lovely. Light and ice is lovely. Yes. Fire and earth, beautiful. Mm-hmm. 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 Well, there is one thing for sure. As a psychic and a spiritualist, I would never take on anything that's dealing with any emotional, especially psychic abuse. No way. Emotional, spiritual, essentially spiritual, physical, none of that. Financial, no abuse whatsoever. Doesn't care who is the psychic speaking or spiritualist or spirit guide. No, you taking abuse from anybody, right? Okay. So with that said, like you telling him to get his act together, start being, like a human, good human. There's the thing. The guides do say that he is a bit of a wild card. He is. And every one of us have issues. No one on earth is perfect. But some of us really could use like real direct healthy help, like from a counselor of some sort. So that might be like, but usually how men are. Usually guys don't really want that. Like it's like ladies seem to be more open to it than men, unless men are actually the counselor. There's like they're not interested in being the one who's counseled. But of course, he's definitely the one needing that counseling from somebody, but like a counselor. He is not really thinking about therapy, and that's just like he says. What do you mean a therapist? Like you say a counselor. What do you mean? I need a therapist. That's going to be his thing. That's going to be his situation. So What's so? Yes, go ahead. Well, you can't be, and you should not be in a relationship that is abusive. You should never be. You should not be. Right. Okay. Regardless, psychic reading. I just want to be clear. I would never let anyone in. So, and I wouldn't let him or her, nobody. Neither should you. Neither will you, like you said. But here's the thing: if he's going to get help and he's getting help from this therapist, something powerful would need to happen with his and your relationship. So, like his and your relationship only could, if it were to advance, let's say you two are starting to say, you're starting to want to live together, for example, cohabitate. Like this is something that clearly, obviously, he's going to need before that happens. Yes, he is going to need, as you say, therapy. No way around it. Will he do it? Well, one thing you can do is suggest it to him. It's his decision ultimately because therapy works better when you realize that you actually need it. You could use it or you're open to it. He has to be open to it. He go there, sit there, and hear nothing. So I think that if you like, you could move forward with him to open up with him just to maybe get a conversation to keep the powerful connection. You two do have a genuine bond, and he really does care about you. But you should be just suggesting to him to also like before he and you can move safely further, you need him to take an action to get himself help to take care of himself. That's what you should be telling him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes abuse goes the other way. Both sides. What I said. Both neither from both the man and woman. Both of them. Nobody expect receive abuse from nobody. But one thing is for certain is, according to the reading, um, he's been. The reading suggests that he and you want to get together and talk. So it's more. So as you're getting him to speak with you, that's where his mind is at the moment. That's where his mind is at. So you want to speak with him in person. He wants to speak with you in person. So he's going to do everything he can do. In other words, that's going to allow for he and you to speak. If he gets everybody else involved, right? Like, okay, first of all, law enforcement they never want to be, they don't want to be a therapist, and they're not usually so patient. So what they're going to do is say, okay, you two stay away from each other, right? So that's it. They're not going to say, well, let us help you get back together again. No, they're going to be like, you go your way, you go your way. Okay, so he's saying no, he doesn't want, he wants to be in a place where he and you can get together in person and speak about things and work through it. And that's what my reading suggests he will do. That's what, so that when I say this, and this is not a suggestion, I promise, I'm not the counselor. Okay, I'm not the, I'm a psychic doing a reading. So the meaning, I'm making predictions about the future. So I'm predicting future events that play out. So this is what plays out. Is what I just want to be clear, to let you know what I'm saying here. So he and you get together, as the prediction says, and then he and you can begin talking out your differences, right? And then as you're saying, well, is this ever going to get better between he and you? Then you can start also in putting into the conversation that, hey, I think that it would be best for therapy to get in place. I may need a little bit. Maybe we can start going and then eventually go together. Like we go separately, but then we can at the end of it go together, called couples counseling, and then see what comes from out of all of this. If we're gonna really make it, make this work, I think that's good for us. Like at the same time, the very same next conversation upcoming over the next, I would say, week or so. It's gonna be in August. I think it's August. He and you will reconnect again, is what I can see. But when only the way that they describe this, relationships work with both the man and the woman speaking. So I'm just, they're only revealing to me that you both are back in contact because it's a mutual. Relationships are mutual. Well, well, the thing is this: you're going to need to tell him again, but in a conversation that is where you both are speaking to each other in person. You're going to have to suggest the therapy that you both go to therapy and then go to therapy together, and you have to explain this to him in person. Even though you've already told him this, but he's not receptive to you right at the moment. Well, the reading says that the relationships are between mutually between the man and the woman and the man. So you both will work together. This is part of relationships. It's about the man and woman ability to work together. Yes, you both are mortals. Okay, so you make mortal decisions sometimes that are not the best for the partner or for the relationship. Okay, we get it, but that doesn't mean that. But you're also blessed with the ability to work and work things through. That's what separates us from the animal kingdom. You both can work through this situation. It's like we opened up with, it's complicated. Yes, we know. It's already on shaky ground. We know that. But you can put this together. Okay? All right. Well, good luck and thank you. Oh my gosh. Goodness. I just have to make sure that, like, I mean, you can't show up on the line and be like, okay, so I'm a piece of shit. Okay, so yeah, I'm here. I'm single. No, no. Let's get you in the back where you're saying, I'm not. Look, I'm not shit. Don't treat me like one. Like, and I want respect in my relationship. Okay, that was a. Oh, by the way, that was a test reading. By the way, that wasn't an actual reading. That was a test reading. They said, yeah, It was like, and it wasn't the man that was abusive, it was her, but I was spinning it like, and I personalize it like, and don't try to hang out with me because I wouldn't even take, if you're abusive and you're abusing your boyfriend, first of all, I'm not a lesbian, but I wouldn't be like, I'm not going to be uh, following after your abused boyfriend or something like that. I wouldn't, like, if you're using your partner, I'm not going to be like uh, stepping in for your partner. And no, you need counseling, you need therapy. In fact, you need therapy, counseling, couples therapy. You both need that couple therapy. Work it out and resolve this between the two of you first. Firstly, and then and then see where you both are going. Like you're abusing your lovers, and then you're like you just need somebody who can handle you. Handle yourself. You're the only one who can handle you, and no one else can. And no one else can. That's crazy. If a man can't handle you, who's sleeping with you, then nobody can handle. No other person can handle you. But anyway, the good thing is we answered them correctly. Yeah, but because it was the company calling, I'm like, because they always trying something. It's not a it's not a. They're always trying to cross the boundary line. The company. So I'm like, so that's why I was like being so blunt. I was like, firstly, look, I wouldn't not I could never. No, I wouldn't. I would never, ever, and hear all the levels and none of them. So yeah, hmm but he's like, well, that incident, called the cops on me, and is he bluffing? Stop being. Is he bluffing? Stop being abusive. And then, secondly, as I already illustrated, speak with them in person. If they couldn't work it out, it wouldn't have said so in the reading. Like, work it out. So, like, get your shit together. Heterosexuals. Oh, gosh. What am I gonna? Well, I'm not gonna do anything with heterosexuals, but I'm just saying, heterosexuals. Oh my gosh, get it together. Whew. They, I think they will. I think in that reading, even though it's a test reading because test readings come at 2 o'clock, and usually it goes quiet between 2 and 3. Yeah, they do one test reading at the end of the day, but I don't treat it like a test reading. I use it as I've stopped making it like, oh, you're just getting my nerve and asking stupid questions that real clients don't ask. I just started like laying them flat, laying them out. I go for laying them out. I'm trying to lay them out with my words, of course, with my words. So I'm like I'll say something like, well, I wouldn't want dark energy either. So like, but but at the same time reinforcing, yeah, yeah. So don't take in dark energy to yourself. So they're like, whoa, like I'm really good at like I will throw dagger, but at the same time I'm bandaging it up for you. Like I put alcohol on it and I like bandage it up and everything. Give you 2 Tylenol. So that's the way that I'm not nice nasty. That's not it's different from nice nasty. But it's like I do the like this is an opportunity for you to grow as a person. I do say that. Like you can take this information and grow as a person. Yeah. Yep, that's the way that I read. Yeah, there are, and it costs 2.4. Yeah, my I speak with royalty people, and their homes are beyond 2.4. I speak to billionaires. Yeah, and the billionaires that I work with, are worth like they have like easy $2.4 billion. So, and like 2.4 million won't even buy an island. So I mean, but they come to me to work with me. Yeah. So so that means if you have degrees like myself, or if you're a doctor, or if you have $2.4 million, that's not gonna like that won't give you points with me. I know somebody richer and somebody more wealthy. I know real kings and queens and ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, you'll be paying the same $5.99 that everybody else is gonna pay, and you'll be paying on time. Thank you. And you'll be paying it through YouTube. You won't be paying it through PayPal or nothing, and you won't get special VIP. Unless I put on, which I intend to do. I want to do shows, so I'll do shows, and if it's $40, you'll be paying for. I don't care if you have a net worth of 2.4 million. You $40. That's the price. No more, nothing less. Well, I'm worth $2.4 million. So when I'm doing paying 40, you $40. Like my thing is, if you don't like the messenger, go get the messenger who gives the message accurately deliver the message. Now that's my answer. That's my response. But you can't. The rich keep getting richer. You know what I mean? The rich keeps getting richer because they're wise. They're wise. Yeah. hmm So yeah, it is nice. But also, people, they say speaking with me is like speaking with an angel. My gifts get me anywhere and I want to go in the world. Just my intuition. And yeah, so people, if you're shaking and you're like, you know, you're, you're female, you're whatever, you're male, and I'm male. Like, how, how are you? I'm big. I'm that big. I'm that big. So yeah, I'm that good. I'm great. You gotta get used to vibrations like me. Maybe you'll have more of them born among you. But I'm only one of me, and that's all there is. There's no other like me. I'm the only one. And I speak to the rich people I speak to. They always come to me for readings because they always have something going on. So yeah, wealth doesn't cover it. And yes, they're in pride. I helped one of my rich people get their private jet back. So yeah, we're talking about that kind of rich. What I mean? Like affluent, abundantly. They're not waiting for anything. People want to do business with them. So like I don't let people like get away with I'm I don't need this in it. Well, if you don't want to give it to me for free, like I'm supposed to do this for free, save service them because when there's rich people who respect me and they've even offered me a place in their mansions, like we've already got a special room for you in your mansion. Just saying. Whew, just saying. Mm, yeah. So that's the kind of people that I work with. And the kind of people that they seek success in their life, and I love to hear. Like I have one of my clients, they're going to they said a very expensive, like black card trip to Paris as soulmates. Yes, as soulmates. So I mean that's the level. Again, with me not asking, I'm not putting on my PayPal up, I'm not putting up Cash App. I already have my clients. But what I'm saying is the people that I work with. Oh, by the way, just because you're rich, that don't mean that you have access to me physically. You don't have physical access to me. But I'm just saying because like I've been flown out, I did all that, and I didn't let them anywhere near me. They of course they dressed me up because it was disguised as a photo shoot. But when they flew me, I also upgraded everything. So yeah, that will never work. So no, you can't be like, I'm T-Pain. That won't work with me. I have celebrities follow me because I read for them, and they're celebrities, and they met me at studios, television studios that I got there on my own. And I met them. They invited me. Oh, by the way, they invite me. Like I can message somebody, and they will say, "Hey, yeah, yeah, come on over." And then I go over there and I hang out with the celebrities. So yeah, on their set, and actually go on camera along with them. So yeah, and then of course I do readings for them, and yeah, they're following me. But that's the reason. Celebrities, personalities, directors, all these types, models, top models, follow me. Oh yes, California, Beverly Hills though. That's where I was. Beverly Hills. That's where I was doing my work. Studio in Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but besides that, yeah, no, I make sure that people know. I know because we like, well, if you're like rich people or really smart people, don't contact psychics. That is because whoever's saying that they're not very bright or they haven't discovered psychics. When they do, they're gonna be like, nobody's telling me anything. They're gonna realize they're looking around at their friends, and they're like, "You talk to psychics? Yeah, I've been talking to psychics." They were like, "What? You talk? You too?" Yeah. So all y'all been talking to psychics, and I'm not. I'm thinking that we all are like in agreement. You think have you seen me complaining about anything about getting work? My psychic help told me out of five investors, which ones would come through for me, or which at five investors to partner with and go through. And I've not needed to, and I only paid her $5. So I'm just saying, do smart people, do rich people work with psychics? I work with people worth with big money. And they were contacting me on my Twitter, like they're messaging me on Twitter, having readings with me via the Twitter. Like some message them what I see, what I think on the Twitter, and and then following the progress. And of course, the readings better come out right. So the reading come out right. I'm just saying. So yes, I can read for people worth. If you're in the million bracket, I can work with you, but I can't be like under you because I'm not under anybody. I'm not a servant. I'm not a spirit servant. I'm not a spirit servant. So I'm just putting that out there just so I'm right now. This is me getting to know everybody for the first time because the first time that people are actually coming in. I'm just making sure that people understand I'm not to be trifled with. Doesn't matter what you have or what kind of level degree you have. Trust me, I'm reading for somebody greater. Every time because like they said, there's somebody bigger than you somewhere in the world, and probably the person's bigger than you. I'm reading for that person. So there's always room for you to grow. There's always room for you to utilize the space of a psychic. And remember, a society's true wealth is based on how wealthy their spiritual community is. If their spiritual community isn't thriving, then that says a lot about the overall of the state of that community or country, society, the state of that society. So yeah, so don't be like looking down on spiritual people because I the least of me is the representation of the value of you. Because when they look to you, they're looking for me. They're not looking for you. They're looking for you for opportunity, but they're looking to talk to me. Oh, by the way, in the family is guitar. Yeah, royal members of guitar family. So guitar, that's my world stage. You see, you can't speak there. The royalty, a connection to our administration, the world, Qatar, what they're doing with Palestine. So so the motion, the move, all of this, your educators, your the ones who set the rules and the policy of your campuses, your legislators, things. Okay, you get it. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Only thing that's changed is that you all can fly the airplane. You all can get in the airplane, get in the rocket. But everything is still the same. The gods are still here. The spirituality, the spiritual people are still here. So just saying. And I'm just saying it out there. I'm just being blunt. So just so that you know, we not on equal footing. I am absolute. I'm absolute here. I'm in the pinnacle space. I'm pentacle. So yeah. And and I tell these people what to do with their I tell them how. I mean, as a couple, the husband, whether the wife and the husband, I tell them, look, do this. This is the instructions. And then they just do it. But it doesn't take me to say, I tell you what to do. No, they do it, and they do it with so much with grace, and then they just get everything they want, and then they go off and live their lives. Like there's couples that was contemplating their dream house. They wanted their $2.4 million house, and they got it. They didn't know if they're going to get it, and also they didn't know if they're going to take up the job to start the work. Also, but asking about they were trying to have another baby. Their children, who are already adults, was trying to convince them don't have another baby because they thinking of inheritance. Well, this older couple, I told them exactly what they needed to do because I'm a medical intuitive. They went and told their doctor. She called me back. She was like, I'm afraid to tell you because I was making us think of that. Oh gosh, they really don't let me speaking on this subject, but for you, I will because you're handling yourself with grace. I think I'll tell you. I'll break this one single rule. And I told her, it's like, it's you this and it's him that. They went and told the doctor exactly that. And then they became pregnant like soon, shortly after. Called me back and says, we're pregnant. And then their newborn baby. And I guess they're older. The son is going to be really mad. Like, how dare you, Dad, have another baby. And he's like, he hasn't been coming around. He hasn't seen the baby. Don't want to do that to the baby. He wants nothing to do with the baby. It's like, oh my gosh. But they're also in their dream house. The house that they're looking at, like, oh, I wish I had that house. Well, they got it, and they got the baby. And only thing they forgot was in that very same reading, I had death. I have depth to my reading. So I told them, I said, you will get the house, and you will have your baby, your newborn baby, a girl. And I told them that the husband's dad, so the baby's granddad, would be around and they'd smell the cigar smoke and so forth in the window, the strangeness of how the curtains move and things. And then, and the presence in the baby's room and things like that. They got a nursery. Um, that, um, he, that, he, oh, that they were going to start a business inside. So right now they're fulfilling a contract with the company. They asked about. They said, okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to sell the business, but we're going to do contract work with the business. Okay, they're ready to let go of that even, and um, and but they forgot that they were going to start a business themselves. And I was like, oh yes, and remember I said that you're going to start your own business within yourself to work at home from home. More on the wife's side. It was like totally forgot about that. It's like pieced together like, well, I just don't know how. I was like, don't worry, your gentleman is gonna know where he needs to be. It'll work out. He'll know where he needs to be. And so she's like stunned, like, oh my gosh. So that's the piece of the puzzle. So they're bridging that, I'm sure. So yeah, yeah, it doesn't. Everybody, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that everybody's contacting psychics. Everybody does. Everybody talks with psychics. So, and in fact, my career really didn't start until I moved to California. My first, uh, I guess, sort of manager, what he was, a psychic manager. He lived in California, and he said, anything you want the world to know, and especially, hey, you're in this industry. Why what are you doing way over there? You need to come over here, because this is where it's all is at. It all is in California, like all this health stuff, spiritual stuff, psychic stuff, practitioner stuff. Come, come, come. So I that's what brought me to California to begin with. And so I went there and I learned so much, heard so many wonderful stories and stories of history of how the psychic industry began. From it used to be where they did psychic readings at the bookstores. Then they elevated to doing phones in the bookstore, so people wouldn't have to come to the store necessarily to talk to a psychic. Then it went to where psychics could just stay at home. So it went through these phases throughout the 60s, mid 60s, 70s, 80s, and then big lawsuits after that because of Mrs. Cleo. Miss Cleo was never called out for being a fraud. They were the client's argument for not paying their bill to AT&T, all of the 900 line companies, telephone companies back in the day, is due to the fact that they said, well, they didn't let us talk to Miss Cleo. I never got. They said I was calling to talk to Miss Cleo, but I never got to talk to Miss Cleo. I kept talking to, Lily Bird 83 and Star 69. So that was what it's like false advertising. So she got in trouble because they her PR team misrepresented her. That was why. And which she was in no control of, and she didn't even own her name, by the way. Mrs. Cleo, she didn't even own Mrs. Cleo. The name, they owned it. Scary. So, but so they went after her name, they went after their character, but the ones who lost out were actually the telephone company. That's why psychics, along with adult industries, are on what you call risk. They're risky business. So typically, what that means is, like AT&T or other and phone companies universally will not create 900 lines for somebody like a psychic, especially. So, receiving like having you have a venue and you could like be selling products and kind of have like a portable, a card reader. They don't typically allow for like card readers because of the high risk situation for like especially like realm of psychic. However, obviously the world opened up the market a bit, so like you can literally buy your own 800 number line, or you just use your regular phone line. But people are so picky and they really like the whole commercial idea of work, especially in the psychic industry. Like people will contact me through the lines, but will they really contact me in person? No, no, it's too weird. In fact, the psychic lines say they don't want the reason why we can't have the intermingling, like contacting willy nilly, and is because, well, yeah, some psychics will be tempted to take advantage of somebody that's not right. They shouldn't do that. But also, they have horror experiences of customers turning up at the residence of psychics and so like little bitty thing who's a psychic reader and is 6 foot three, comes up and tears her mailbox out of the ground and then kick down the door or something. So, something crazy, something wild. So yeah, and plus what we do is uh, the mystery stuff, and it's very coveted, especially like amongst like eclectic cultist. So yeah, so to protect our space and also protect the customer, there's no giving of any kind of information. And in fact, we don't even use our name. Just why when they pick up, I don't say my name, I say it's a name that I provided the company that's agreed upon to so that we can, everybody can be, so we go under an alias more or less. Um, of course, that can be also taken advantage of because then that can be like, well, then that means you as a psychic will never grow because they basically, you're in a situation like Mrs. Cleo where they just kind of own your name, don't they? So, like, but of course, when the companies were like, who was sued and who had to actually pay out, so they lost millions, upwards to close to $1 billion. The like AT&T and T and other phone companies, because clients wouldn't pay the bill and they weren't able to recoup all their money back. Basically, they lost out. It was so in their with their money. So that's the story of that. And there's also a little bit of story about Miss Cleo that people don't know, that she was actually a victim. And if you're a spiritual person, especially if you're black, and a woman, and a spiritual woman at that, and you're thinking in a form of entrepreneurship, you know that now you know how important it is if you're going to start something like that, to make sure that you approach it as a business, like you own it yourself, and you just like use that as like a like a leg up, but not to come in and expect to be leveraged, to where, even though she did, what do you call it, she became the face, so her personality, her name alone, like it helped her, to gain money. But one beautiful thing is there's videos even uploaded on YouTube where she's teaching about tarot cards. Lady knows what she's talking about. And then I also was watching how she read. From my perception, she really believed in her gift, and she is not like acting. That's not acting. And she said very key, specific things that I would listen for if I were, let's say, I've been tested. Every time I go to work for a company, I'm always tested. I only work for companies that test the readers for gift signs of gifts. And I also was tested for the gift as a young one, with an organization called Opera. So I'm looking at her through those eyes, and she did like exceedingly well when it comes to explaining the tarot cards. So just teaching them, like people, they get online and they talk about the cards. So she performed that very well. And so, and again, she was not, have you noticed they don't call her a fraud? They may jokingly, but even when people talk about her and they bring her up, they say something like Miss Cleo. Like, I'm telling your future now. They never say, I'm going to fraud you like a Miss Cleo, or look at me in my Miss Cleo getting all of this money. No, they don't never portray her like that. Even like people who are like, like when Christians use her name, they always say, look at me being psychic like Miss Cleo. That means her energy carried over, her intentions to do good. It's just that um, people, like secular people, business people, non psychics, had a lot of pull and created this situation where let's get more of let's multiply her. If there's only one of her, we can, they're like, they always want to duplicate you, right? So there's like, but duplicate it, but never, what is it? Duplicated, but never imitated. Something like that. Duplicated but never imitated. I know I missed that, the wording is wrong. Duplicated. No, imitated but never duplicated. Something like imitated but never duplicated. Something like that. I think that's the phrase. So she was, so they started duplicating the idea of a psychic by hiring psychics, and then so people were calling psychics, but not quite who they were looking for. They were looking for That woman who you call in and is like plugged in from all and see all across throughout the universe. No one makes fun of that. You know why? Because there's nothing to make fun of there. That's real. That's real. Yeah. So that's a little bit of a little story, what was relayed to me and how it was told. And this guy is brutally honest. He's brutally honest. Especially, and we had a few we having drinks of I was picking his lemon tree that crossbred with oranges, so he's having shots. He would have been that was the time to be honest. And trust me, he has no trouble being honest. He's also a retiree in 63. He could be honest. Yeah, so you know what I mean. So he was telling us about the story and things like that. See, I was right. That was a test call because it's 303. My gosh. They're trying to get on my nerves today. Well, for their information, I have one more hour to go. It's Monday. I always stay till 10. They try to close out my day. How they're so rude. Do I have any hold on. I did actually. One second. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So yeah, yeah. I was where I was. Yeah, the celebrities I read for and been on their shows and things like that. If when I message them, I rarely message them ever, like once a year or every few years. But if I do, they respond immediately and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" Or if I like and repost something that they're doing, they always like they like the post. So yeah, so yeah, if you're in the in that in those brackets, abundant rap brackets, on my list, you'll come to know that you're fellow rich people, yeah, fellow fluent people, yep. So yeah, that is my clients. Hmm. So you're not alone. You're not alone. And I want my YouTube channel to create a space, especially when I start going out into the world and I start to see like the amazing things that you all are doing. That like whenever I now I'm gonna create the venue and nobody else is gonna like I'm gonna ask for any money to do that. Because I already like I said I already have my clients, so I don't need to ask you all for money. But so I'm gonna create the venue and people will just show up, and I want it where if a person is 2.4 dollars like what they on paper what they are, but then a person also who is 30 to 50 $1,000 a year annually. When they arrive, they're like everybody's together. And again, I need I have to have white people there. I have to have uh, people who are South American there. I have to have people who are from Europe there. I have to have people from India there. I have to have people who are from Asia there. I have to have people from Canada there. So what I'm saying is, yes, everybody's gonna be present, and and it's gonna be respectful, and everybody's gonna feel welcomed. Yeah. So yeah, that's the environment that I'm creating. It isn't where like you go to church and you have and like you go there and like it's all blocked off. Like the first 6 rows are like blocked off or something, and it's like it's all their family. It's not even like the people who gets to actually run down around the stage. Yeah, only the family can do that. You're not allowed to. Can I do that? No, no. Excuse. Oh, this is a performance. Like no, it's like that's their family. Oh, so no, it's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be like I guess sitting preferences does matter, but I'm not really concerned about that. Like whether who's in the front row or the back row. Um, you know, people will be able to come and grab us however we arrange the room because I can ask them to arrange. I already looked into this. I can ask them to arrange the room any way that I see fit, like a theater style even. So and or if it's an auditorium, even and think of it in those terms. Because even if there's like a whole row of people, they're like, this gives you a closer guarantee for me to talk to you. I'm still gonna go to the back because I gotta show off my gifts. I'm gonna still be like, excuse me, go 20 rows up and I want to talk to, yep, you're the one I want to talk to. So, but I still would, of course, you're gonna interact with the people in the front row. I guess you'd be paying for the fact that you kind of like, I like to sit in the front when I go to the theater shows. I sit at the very front, and watch the show. So are you paying extra for that? I don't know. I don't get it. So anyway, if you were in the way in the back, I'd be making my on my way to making my way to the people in the back. But also I'm a performer too. My first career was in acting and being on stage, paid, by the way, paid actor on stage. But I'm also classically trained to do those things as well growing up. But now I said I want to use that experience to do the experience that I have as a psychic whenever I do venues, as I do venues. Donald here. A pleasure. Welcome. Welcome. Good to speak with you. You good? You're here for a psychic reading? Good. Okay. Well, we can start wherever however you feel, where you're comfortable at, because I like to focus on things that mean something to you. I don't ask questions though. Okay. Okay. Sure. Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm very good with, so we do something called psychic profiling. Like we can profile people, but we can also profile business partnerships and things like that. You can call it, you don't have to give any names of the actual, but you could say like group A or B or C, kind of like that. And, but just sending out to the universe and I can make a sound connection from that if you like. Some people use initials, but as long as your intention is there, I should get it because we need to know exactly which area, and also if you're thinking about well, which business or group should I work with, we want to know exactly who, like what group we're speaking about. So as long as you know who the words are for, it's okay. I just want to clarify that. Okay, so we could do that. We could do a rundown of all these different sections. Okay, sure. Mhm. 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 Well, it's up to you how you feel comfortable. You can say, "Hey, start already." I will do exactly that. I've got enough information about A, so I can already just kind of like I'm already filling it out. By the way, as you're reading, so I have that already. But if you already like, oh, let me go ahead and get the other ones through. That's okay as well. It's however you like to proceed. Hmm. Sure. Okay, then I'll be quiet. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. I've got them all three committed. We're committed. You know, I like A. I like A. A is nice. B is needed, by the way. B is needed, and C, I can already tell you will do it, but it seems like this is a long term project. Like this is something seems that you would do this for a long time. Um, and it seems like you're growing into C already. This is general. There's depth to this, but I just wanted to tell you the overall, the brief overall of where this is going to go. I like to spoil the secrets in the beginning, give all the secrets at the beginning. So they said that there's great, powerful motivation to stick with. There's so much reasons why you're motivated for A, and I still see a great deal of patience. Also, new opportunities are rising from A, which represents new uh, new pathways for money, new maybe new investments to come through. So there's new physically new money and gifts and things of that nature coming through. Also, A is quite healthy. The risks are like okay, so the risks are now maybe energetically, but the outlook is attaining goals. Goals are reached and promoted, and it's like when you settle and you're at peace. You know, let's say a year. Not one more year in, and you've put all the work in the from this year. You're looking at it as okay, we've done great. There's more work. There's work here. We've seen progress, so that's why I believe in A. I believe in A. B is different. B is this charitable element, and then there's the beauty. I believe that's the association to the ladies. There's emotions here, like you're really like pulled in. This means something. You're passionate about this, about A, and angels are operating with you in this one in B, excuse me, I'm talking about B is operated through angels, and you're connected emotionally to B. And there's it's also like it's of the heart. No, it's charitable, meaning the heart. I mean that's in those words, spiritual, charitable. So it's a good, like a good deed sort of thing, something good for society. Okay, and of course it's in the realm of the three pillars. It's the realm of beauty. Yeah, okay, it's like the beauty of life, you know, how life can be. But they said that great, well, okay, so angelic help, also the ability to ask for people, like you could always get people to work with you in B. You will never run out of hands or people that will show up for you. You know this in your heart, but which I also believe that in C. But then there's success with this. So I see a great deal of success and like windfalls of it, with maybe windfalls of support, financial support, great deal of like, especially if you're going to network, like you said, the ladies, like maybe there's big conferences, you know, that you could tell, wow, you know, who's behind this machine. Argue. It also gives space to debate. So, like, if you're intending, okay, I have a feeling. Of course, you would naturally do the panels. I see panels here, or maybe room for conversation. Like, you know how they when they do them when it's something is big and then they people can come and ask questions to speakers. Like I see that. Okay, and then it's of course these are the big mind people, the intellectual people, and then of course, like you said, women, right? Yes, women there, maybe a guy, but women there, definitely. So this is like beautiful, both, and like you, but see, I think that B works is because, like you said, it's sparingly, as needed, like where you've needed. But it's like anything that you wanted to do that is in the heart, it's like it could be channeled here, and you have an infinite support from here. So that's another green light. Oh boy. And then, of course, now my favorite one is the one that I see you doing much. Like as time progresses, I think you will do the big production. I think you will. Right now, it seems like you're still clearing out clearing the path to this. It feels like something you're gonna do when as other things have manifested and maybe there it's take the business has like it's basically doing running itself. It's so good, like maybe it's structured in a way where it's running with you not always having to be present. I mean, in the physical sense. But at the same time, it's like people like energies that people might be working against this idea. People might say, well, well, why you get to be in front of the camera? So like dealing with those kinds of personalities, like weeding them out. But I definitely see in the realm of business, like, hey, this is my business. I'm not. It's fun, but it's not just for fun to do. It's like this is well planned out. Like what's okay? So there's a difference between showing up for a community stage play and then or going to someone's like broadcasting studio. You like right, so it's this, one is business, one is for fun. It's exciting, but there's a difference and it's well planned out, well thought out before you go live or I guess. So this is what I'm seeing here you do. By just seeing you do it, maybe I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm attracted to the number 4. It feels like you're gonna be seriously entrenched with this idea, and it may even be like dominant, something that's dominating over 4 years, like 4 years, 3 years pass into the fourth year, like 3 years out, 4 years, the fourth year in. It feels like this one becomes more evident that I must do this. I'm called to do the broadcasting part. It's exciting. It like you said, and from a creative standpoint, and it's something that may be ongoing until you're ready to pass the reins. Then there's something that it's like, oh, there's a denial part. Oh boy, what is it? Something independent. Okay, this is an independent situation. This doesn't happen without you. Oh boy, I get it now. This is something that's needed in this, like creating this, I guess, lane or genres in this space. It doesn't even get done unless you do it. And yes, you're gonna feel like it's you who's making it happen. People have their opinions, people will have their opinions, but we already know it's gonna work for you anyway. Once they get out of their way, it will begin to work. Also, it's great for I guess like product selling, like things that you want to like put on like how they can use that kind of a platform to showcase something to purchase or something of interest, something to invest in, that kind of thing, like a point of purchase point. That's what I'm looking at. They said it's perfect for that. Partnerships, so people are going to want in. Oh boy, you're going to have backers. Oh, that's good. And so people who's saying, well, or even if it's okay, we saw this product and we heard about this service, we want to get involved. Let us in. And so it's like you start actually getting involved. I see like a room full of like board members from different, I guess, businesses who are aligning and trying to create a vision, right back to the drawing board. It sounds like the vision board. I'm seeing this being nurtured. Is this a matter of like who's reliable? It feels like people who are reliable are coming forward, but I see it a little bit farther out. So eventually, I feel like you're gonna do this one. This one seems to be a fit. Like especially when things are much calmer. Right now, you're full of life and energy to do so many things simultaneously, and you're keeping up with all of it. But you're like, I'm already starting to see where I should put more of my energy into what. So I believe that like it's in stages that things become more quieter. Like A seems like for now, and then sparingly B, and then much time is okay to like pace yourself to get to like between now and 3 years to do this big one, because this one's the one you're gonna do long term, the broadcast, like the big one. This is like huge. It's like everything you're learning from A and particularly A and B is like like you're being prepared for C. Like everything's preparing you for, because like everything that you can do with A and C, you definitely will do in C. And guess what? When you want to come back to C, just imagine your glow, like your light because of the C exposure, all of the camera time exposure, and working through all of that, and their success, the great success with C. Then coming through, because it's very like like there's networking elements in this space, and these are definitely, I would say, like the bright minds are here. It's very successful, so that means that anything that you want to you wish to say to this group, you're going to be heard. Your voice will be heard. Like you have the like one can have an amazing voice, but no channel to broadcast it. But you will have that channel, something meaningful for you, something that comes up, trends in the on a societal level, and it comes up as conversation. You're able to add commentary information with it. Let's say in C, to helping, as you said, helping the ladies in business, and find their success and find their way. This works. This is absolutely perfect for, it's like this is C working cohesively with B. That means that A is for now, but I don't think A is forever. Not like C. C seems like, feels like for as long as you're good with it before passing the rings, and it still keeps going. So it's like a legacy in C. The C is for legacy. Like I want to do something and leave my imprint. And you say I'm doing C. That's exactly what happens. And you say now what I just got to do is find somebody strong enough to I don't know if you want to say fill your shoes, but just sort of stand in for you for a meanwhile, and you can come back as you wish. But pretty much, you can then transcend into other areas. Hmm. 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 Okay. Right. Okay. Yes. Hmm. Not everyone has that channel. When they speak, they're speaking to open air. When you speak, you're speaking to the medium, the media that's channeling out your voice, and that is a beautiful gift you have. It's spiritual. Mm. Mm. Okay. Yep, that that's the first word that we said with C is envy. Yep, you can't for now. You got to kind of move these people out of the way. I hate to say this. You got to come in there like I came in like a wrecking ball. That's you. I'm sorry, you guys. You just move out the way. You see me coming. You're meant to be in that space. They're not because then the information is channeling through you. You're channeling the information need to be said. They're not going to come behind before you or behind you and say the things you said that you have in mind. The spotlight they saw that the people who wanted you on who offered you the spot. That's because they attracted to your beautiful message. They're attracted to that message. That's why. I could say beautiful messages in a room, and it's gonna keep landing on my ears, right? But at the same time, like you're with your message, you have the gift of that message that needs to be said through these mediums, and that's why you and not them. But they're envy. Yep, they're envious. Mhm. Right. Hmm. Right. Okay. Yes. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yes. Mhm. That's fine. Yes. Right. Yes. Right. Hmm. Right. Yes. Oh, that's gonna be amazing. Exactly. Exactly. Because like you said, it's rather than thinking of women as capable as they are, as not sparing, like, oh, just every now and when you get a gem. But no, it's common that women, like you said, women are extraordinary. It's just that we need that camera on them to and know in that way too. The other things, of course, cameras on them, but like also the things that you can do that are amazing, like the engine and so forth, about doing all like physical activities. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Right. Right. You're right. Now, how is D not going to tap C? If it were, shouldn't D have it? It sounds like D should have a script in C somewhere. Like what they call it, a shout out. It gets shouted out in C on the occasion, and it's like, yes, you saw that product up there. Look, get it. There's the name. This is where to get it, and all the stores. your closest stores. Is that not what the guys do? That's exactly what they do. Women are wonderful at telling stories. You know what I mean? You can tell the story. Hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Mhm. Right. Yes. 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 Well, we like show it, and then it get kept. We also in at perfect timing. Gosh, pray for that divine timing that we catch it on camera. We're there to see it in person or on camera. We need to record it. We need that recorded, documented. Mm. I think you're the one. You're meant to do it. Hmm. Right. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Okay. The beautiful hope stage is the expectation stage. That's where we're expecting these things are going to happen. But we know that C, once you have that C and you've got your support, then the D is going to happen. The D that the D well D is going to happen. I mean C is going to happen. C starts to come forward. C comes forward, but it feels like B is next. You already have A. I keep saying A is important. A is, it's like you're finalizing here before you step out. And like B is next. B's next. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yo, we are going to have an agency. The whole universe heard that. We are going to have an agency. Okay. Wow. I know they're excited. Rushashad. I bet that all the late, real loud, all the auditorium is saying. So I know they are putting out that into the universe for your network. Mhm. Doing A, and now get doing A and begin getting into the networking vision with the ladies. You put your energy there. Success is right on the, like, you have success by the string, and you're pulling it to you, and it's coming. Yes, everything follows in. D is gonna find you again anyway. Oh my gosh. Woo! She's so smart. Oh, I love brilliant people. She's the bomb. She's doing she's she's doing big work. Big work. Big work. See, that's what I'm talking about. Are you sure? I know you work 2.4 mil. Are you sure? Are you sure you can't talk with me just like 3 minutes of your 3 minutes? She's changing the world for women. She's iconic for women movement, that women can do the things they want to do, including work on engines, boxing. Oh yeah, that subject came up. The big boxing card. You know who I was thinking of. But she writes the stories, by the way. He narrates. And she's not a dude. She's female. And success will find her. Success is coming. Oh, she has a product in her mind too. The product is going to be amazing. I told her where to put how to work the product. She was like, I would have never thought. I would have never thought it. I know. When I say it's being channeled through you, I know. I have to say channeling through you. I'm up there. I'm up there. Shoot, I ain't playing. And how much do you think she paid for that? 3, 4 boxes of Raisin Bran, perhaps. That's how. She'll, she's gonna go and become a socialite. All women do panels. Be on a rise. Go on rise on a panel of women and do big conferences and product placement into yeah, yeah, she's already, on doing TV things. She's just kind of like in an arena. She's kind of like having a like when you run in groups, they teach you to run like this. Like you're allowed to do that. Kind of like because yeah, they'll try to usher you out. Push out the so you gotta so like when you run, you can also run like this. Know what I mean? So she gonna go to the top of the hill, and then she has about 3 years before this is perfect. It's 4 years, but like entering the fourth year, she should focus on this network about for like 1 to 2 years, at least 2.5 years, 3 years. Because well, this one is like a year. She's like working on this one, but she doesn't know what I mean. Like she said, well, they simply spoke. No, no, no. This hasn't really started. Not like I'm saying. I'm saying. So today you're getting on the stage because there's a lot of. I'm talking about. I'm talking about it. No, I'm talking about going in there and the women are like, they're all with their voices high, and you're like, asking your PA to go get you some earbuds for a second, just till you get on stage and stuff. Because you like, and like, so that's exciting. Well, see, when I speak across the universe. She heard me from all the way over here. I was like, you know who I talked to? You can't talk, you can't. She's like, well, and what can you tell me without me telling you? So I was like, well, first of all, then she gave me some names and I read each one of them perfectly. She says, you're right. Yeah, I am in the TV sector and I'm on TV and product placement. And like I was like, we were like, she talked to me like, like she just met me and she's like telling me, what she's doing as I'm drinking my tea. And you heard how I opened up. I said, what you want me for? Girl, I don't ask you questions. I don't need any information or nothing. I'm not going to ask you questions. But since we're going to psychic profile, just so that you know where my words are directed, all you do is have the intention of what you're asking spirit. Spirit will do the rest. So first she went through all three. And then in the third one, I brought up the fourth one that she had in mind. And those were the only four. I even brought up the one that she left out and put it with out of the three, where exactly it needed to be. And that's pretty good. Gosh, I'm that's pretty good. Okay. So where are we at right now? 60. Oh, wow, 68 views. I'm getting a lot of views. I don't know what the difference is. Why do y'all not like uh me unless I go vertical on my phone? I don't know what the difference is, but there's clearly a difference. You all feel like an endurance run, like you run really hard and then you have to do endurance run. That's what you all are like. Like like I didn't ran and like yeah, but I did the now I have to do like beyond the limit. Like you got to push beyond your limit, as they say, and then because you're working on endurance, that's what you all are like. I didn't did all this time, all this work. Now I gotta like endure this. So that means I'm doing this because I really am passionate about this. I really care. That's why I'm doing this. Oh, the good thing is, it goes well with got my cards out. Um, that didn't that didn't affect us too much, and I even did readings, so that didn't affect us too much. So that's pretty good. Nice. 7 more minutes. Yeah. See, now that's the type of conversations I want in on. Like she's amazing. So I don't. That's why I don't be wanting to hear no stuff. From a lot of like, yeah, go put that in a rap song. Go write some lyrics or something. Like I want to hear that. Like tell me all that good stuff you doing. Let me don't be treat me like Douglas. Oh hey Douglas. And then you be like telling me all these lingos. I don't even know lingos. I can't even think of one as an example. You go say all the little lingos. You know, what I'm supposed to say? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. No, no, I'm not no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. Yeah. No, that is not. That is not even how I was. I'm not even raised. That I'm not even. No. What's shaking? No. Mm-mm. Talk. Tell me your good stuff. Tell me about your products. Tell me about how you trying to make it. How you trying to spring it. Tell me how you trying to manifest it. Tell me your heart. Tell me your desires to make all your vision come true. Tell me that you're doing something for humanity. Tell me that you want to represent women and show their worth and value to be paid what they're worth. Yeah, start paying women what they're worth. Dang it. So the women have to. I think that women. Okay, so women are the biggest spenders in these markets because it could be spending. It could be that women are like buying the tickets. Well, I want to take my man. Are they calculating that as men making spenders? Because it always say that women are spending upwards of trillions. They're the one watching TV. What I heard. I mean, even like heterosexual men are saying that. Conservative men, by the way. So I think that it's that women have to. They've already shown that they're the bigger spender. They go, well, duh. They have more money to spend. Okay, fine. But they also must show that when they're valued amongst themselves, that more money can flow with them in their spaces. Kind of like uh, women's women, I guess, competition is for female competition. Then women competing for money, female competing for money. So there should be money, feminine, pay the woman. Men are paid, even. And of course, men that, are biggest contributors, then that's good. That's good too. That's good too. So maybe that's the way it has to be kind of rolled out. They're already rolling out um, like representation. They're getting camera time, so they're getting captured. That's good. So it's like maybe money even needs to circulate directed towards women too. And that's maybe where they need have like for their money, the right amount to reach them. She's talking about economic equality, the money that's not being paid for women. And what is interesting is that she's the second woman who talked with me about this. They're like talk about well three women. The women are not happy. And by the way, these are um, my women of European descent, if you know what I mean. Um, and from different countries in Europe, three have said this that there's like they even know the part where it's the disparities between white women and white men, and then uh, other ethnic groups as well. So they're looking at the stats, and white women are not happy because three of them spiritually as a soul group are telling you know I'm up here, okay, telling me about it. So I'm her best friend. I am her best friend. She can tell to me about anything, and she knows I'm gonna tell her the truth. So let me see. she's already captured the attention. They're already willing to listen to her. So she already has the camera. I mean the media. Media is already, like being on news. She's already done that. The way that money flows to women and the way that money flows to men, just like every else, I think it has to flow differently than it flows between the two. And I think that's where they're going to deal with disparage the disparagement elements. So it's kind of like this. Women has had to take charge into all these spaces, and now they have to take charge even of the money space, the money conversation, because men speak to the idea that they gonna take care of the money, have it, and so forth on. And some even say, don't even want her working. Recently, it was, well, you're not working, go to school. So she goes and get educated, and then she can, you know, start. Then if she goes get a job, then he starts changing. Oh, yeah, why did he go get a job? But then, he gets worried. So it's definitely that vibration there. That's what we're working on. She has to take control of the money conversation, like the way that money flows to her. She has to work with that energy. Okay. I need to reflect on this a little bit more. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. You already know. If it's affecting her, it's affecting me. Like, why do you care? Because what's going on with her, it's going on with me. And besides, if she has a little bit more to spend, I'm her best friend. Because she know I'm not going to let her down. I never have let her down. I mean, goodness, she's already well known. She's going to be big. You'll see. All right. I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break. Yeah, yeah, yeah.